Next up in our automation series is modules. Modules are the foundation of any scenario. Basically, they're every single dot element in your scenario. You can't have a scenario without modules. They're the individual puzzle pieces that make up the system, which does the tasks that you need it to. Zaria, I'm the founder of Chain Solutions, an AI automation agency building custom software for businesses to achieve more with less time, less money, and less effort. Let's get into make.com so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, you guys know the drill, a little bit of background information before we actually get into the scenario. So what is a module? Like I said, modules are the elements that make up your scenario. There are two main types of modules. Those are going to be search and actions. Search modules find data that match the given specifications, and they'll return that information back to your scenario to use for whatever. Action modules do something. That means they can get information, add a row to a Google Sheet, send an email, create a new Google document. Any action, basically, it's going to require an action module. There's some other type of modules that we'll get into in a later video. Those are going to be triggers, aggregators, and iterators. Triggers are always going to be at the beginning of your system. There are two types, polling and instant triggers. Essentially, they monitor services or information, and they can trigger the system when that information changes, or they can keep track of all the changes at any given time. Aggregators combine multiple bundles into one array, and iterators do the exact opposite. They separate arrays into multiple bundles. We've used aggregators a couple times in use case tutorials, so if you want to go check those out, I'll link one if I can find it. All right, let's get into the scenario. Okay, so if you have been following, last time we got the weather and we added it to a Google Sheet. This time I'm just going to show you a couple different modules so you can see what some of them look like and what some of the actions are. Make has hundreds of integrations, almost any software, not hundreds, thousands, almost any software that you would use, i.e. they're either in the process of building the integration or they already have it. There's only been one software in months of using Make that I have not been able to find. So just to be simple, let's go into our email and we have a couple options that we can look at here. So you can see these are all separated by type. So there's only one trigger, watch emails. So whenever a new email comes in, it'll bring the information from that email into the system and it'll trigger the system to do whatever you want it to do. Several actions here that include copying, creating, deleting, moving, marking, and sending. And then one iterator which separates attachments. In addition, let's go through, what should we look at? Why don't we just go pick a random one out and see what's going on? AppleLearn. Okay, perfect. These are all searches. So it says list courses, list the admins, list categories. And what that list means is the system will go find all the information that meets that specification. So for example, courses, it'll find all the courses and then return that in bundles, whatever relevant information. I don't use this software, so I'm not sure what that includes. But yeah, that's the premise of modules. And for our next video, we're going to start with a Gmail module. So let's go ahead and set one up right now. Every module has to be configured, or most of them have to be configured. And what that means is either establishing a connection to, well, I'll just show you. Establishing a connection, choosing where you want to search for certain things, what source specifically. So in the Google Sheet, I had to configure it by dictating what drive the information was coming out of, what spreadsheet, and then what page in the spreadsheet. So for this, let's get watch emails. And you can see here, there is several things that we can configure. I already have a connection set up, or multiple set up actually, but you'll have to do a couple things for Gmail specifically. If you click the question mark up here in any module, it'll show you how to connect it. I decided not to go with the Gmail. Instead, we're going to search rows, and we'll use that information in our next video, which is going to be routers. I hope this was a simple breakdown. Make sure that you watch the past videos if you haven't, and keep an eye on the channel for more information. I'll be going through use cases along with this automation learning series. If you or your business is looking to get ahead and start with automations, click the links in the bio to book a consultation with me or learn more about our company. Thanks.